All right, thanks, Brittany. And of course, we have our mayor analyst in studio with us right now. And let's start talking about Amendment 1, first of all, about the Aniah's Law expansion. And I'm going to start with you, Mayor Andrus, because this is obviously a very personal thing to you, of course, named after Homewood native Aniah Blanchard, who was kidnapped and killed. What are your thoughts on this and how it can impact public safety?
My thoughts are anything Angela Harris says, I'm right there for her. Angela Harris has been an absolute hero since the disappearance and murder of her daughter, Aniah. She was a beloved Homewood student and, of course, was down at Auburn. And then Walt Harris is a member of our fire force, firefighters. So anything that family says, that is what I'm here to do, and that is vote yes.
Mayor Stewart?
A lot of times we see repeat offenders by them expanding the law to more crimes, to not to allow people to be able to get bail. I think that is a very good thing. I'm quite sure that law enforcement really appreciates it. They say a lot of times that we're soft on crime. I believe this is a way of showing that we really do want to keep the most dangerous people off the streets and to be able to keep our communities safe.
And Mayor Dursis, of course, we know that you have a strong background in law enforcement, so we'd love to hear your thoughts on this, of course.
I'm 100% in favor of it. In my 40-year career as a police officer, so many times did we end up arresting somebody again that was out on bond that realistically shouldn't have been. And it was a situation that they had already been arrested for a violent crime, able to get bond, got out, here we go again, arresting somebody again. So this, again, I think even on Aniah, if that guy was in jail like he should have been, we wouldn't even be talking about this today, so 100%.
And this next issue wasn't an amendment, but it was a recent development, the expansion of the Public Service Commission. Is that something that your constituents will really be affected by, or is this just politics, Mayor Stewart?
I'm quite sure they will say that they are affected. You know, the citizens say they are affected by everything, even when they are not affected by certain things. But they do control the rates for the Alabama Power as well as for Spire, which means that does affect what we have going on in the city of Irondale. I think it's great that they are expanding it to cover, have one individual for each of the 7 congressional districts. I'm not a big fan of them having an election to be able to do it, because just because you have an election, maybe I may be talking about us, it doesn't mean that you're actually qualified to be able to do the job. Just all depends on how you campaign and get the word out. I'm kind of, I guess, say I have a hybrid opinion about that.
Right, right. How about you, Mayor Andrus?
I think anytime more representation is better, and so like Mayor Stewart said, you got to do a lot of work to learn who's on your ballot and find out who you're actually casting a ballot for. But I do think more representation is better.
Yeah, Mayor Dursis?
Yeah, I would agree. I've heard from some of our constituents, and they think it's going to be a great idea. And from my understanding, we've got the election today, which will put 3 individuals in office for that, and then the governor sometime this summer will name 4 additional ones, so we'll have 7.
Bonus question. You mentioned the governor. Now she's the longest serving governor of the state. Is she leaving Alabama better than she received it?
I think so. I think she's done a very good job. I think she's really put together what I would say is a great cabinet, and got a lot of things done in her term. So yeah, she's done a great job, I think.
Yeah, she stepped in and provided stability. It was kind of a crazy time back in when all that was going on, and so she stepped in, and you know what? She was boring. Boring government is good government, so I would agree.
And I would have to agree with both mayors. One of the things that she's really done is put the state of Alabama on the map when it comes to economic development, and the state is looked at as a model for other states to be able to use. She's done a great job in being able to bring industry into our state, and that's a beautiful thing.
Thank you for your answers and analysis. So right now on our app and website, you'll find full interviews with the gubernatorial candidates. I sat down with each of them except Senator Tommy Tuberville, who didn't respond to our requests.